served his country from the beginning to the end. Whatever was his stewardship as a military man, he is now counted as a victim of assassination, cold-blooded assassination, which now adds to the tally in our history of cold-blooded murder of personalities in this country. Alex Badeh will go down in history as one who has failed to the gunshots of murderers in broad daylight, few kilometers away from our capital city. The lessons and the message of his death is that there is a failure of duty to protect. The state has failed Alex Badeh, and the need for the state, the government, and the nation as a whole to take issues of security very seriously. I can testify his intervention in the Nigerian Institute of Air Technology in Kaduna, where he has built hostels and made the life of students better. Alex Badeh is a victim, a clear victim of an assassination. And issues like this should bring to spotlight and the national discourse on the need for people in the position of power to know very well that matters of security is not only about the poor and the downtrodden, but it's also about themselves. If this can happen to Alex Badeh, it can happen to anybody in this country. And especially at a time like this, when there is the heat and the tension of politics. Mr. President, Alex Badeh's case is an addition to cases of assassinations that have remained unresolved, from that of General Al-Ghali to Ago Madara, Bola Ige, Alfred Rewani, and several others, Harry Marshall. What is to be done differently here is that the nation must take this murder very seriously. As it is in our African adage, speak not ill of the dead. But what is most important is that one of our own, a man who has served this country as a military officer, has been felled down in his retirement. We all owe it a duty to pay tribute to the man who has served his country. We also owe it a duty as a tribute to him and in his memory to ensure that similar things never happen again to any other person. What we can do differently, as it is done in other countries, when assassinations like this happen, security institutions will be at their very best to go to every nook and cranny and utilize and explore every intelligence detail to go to the root of the matter. The police and other relevant security agencies have a duty to make sure that the mass murder of Alex Badeh does not in any way become another case of unsolved and unresolved case of assassination. Thank you very much.
Yes, Deputy Senate President.
Thank you, Ms. Brents, in sending our condolences to the Alex Badeh family over this very sad loss. Excellency, very distinguished colleagues, I'm a bit worried because of this incident. But what we are seeing is like a case of a swimmer who explored the oceans and eventually drowned in a simple pot in a house for another woman. The military, obviously, is a very risky profession. Yes. And of course, when he joined the military, he's conscious unto the person that the chances of your dying before retirement or situation where you may not even get to retirement is about 80%. But this is a man who went through the military, Air Force officer, flew all over the world, was engaged in warfare, in insurgency, and retired. And a very appreciative service honored him. He was pulled out in a very colorful ceremony. He took time to thank his God that he went through this risky profession and survived it. And just a few days ago, he was just killed by the same ordinary people whom he fought and lived to protect them and their families. It's indeed an irony. And what makes this sad is that the killers may never be found. They may never be found because this is not the first time we're having this kind of situation. The killers of Bola Ige have not been found. The killers of Funshaw Williams have not been found. The killers of Dekibo has also not been found. So we believe that time has come for us to ensure that when people kill others in Nigeria, that they must be found. And unless we do that, we can never discourage those who take to these wicked acts. And I think that Federal Capital Territory is becoming increasingly dangerous. And as a very important city in Africa, we must ensure the safety of the inhabitants of Abuja. It is time we have to deploy cameras in our streets and every corner of Abuja. Yes, we may be talking about power supply. What of solar energy? I believe that we need to do something about this, at least in memory of late Alex Badeh, to ensure that all those who are living in Abuja and everywhere in Nigeria are protected. The major business of government is the protection of lives and properties, because life is the most important human right. And that's why, if you go to chapter 4 of the Constitution, the first right there is right to life. So we take it seriously, and we must be seen to be taking it seriously. So I want to appeal to authorities to ensure that they get to the root of this matter and find the killers of this gentleman. I understand he was traveling alone with his driver. That is simplicity. That is humility. People like him, with all the soldiers and military men around him, had opportunity of going around with a lot of them, harassing civilians and ordinary road users. But he chose to respect their sensitivity and was just moving alone, and he paid this price. But I think that's the price he paid for his humility. But humility is a virtue we must all encourage. So I think that should not be taken against him, but against a society that does not value that such. So I therefore would like to send my condolences again to his families and plead with the government and security agencies to do everything possible, at least in his honor, to ensure that those who killed him will not go unpunished. May his soul rest in perfect peace.
That a man who has served this country so well, I think that we must owe it to ensure that the security agencies fish out those who are responsible for this matter, and also as those of his personal staff that are still being held. All efforts must be made to see that they are rescued, and all efforts must be made that they do fish out. And on the bigger picture, I think definitely we still need to do more on the issue of security, particularly as you see it's even getting closer to the capital. I think there's need in the security agencies to really rise above the level of performance now and ensure that we provide better security in the country.